My name is Yeltzi Velazquez. I have a master's from Saturday O'Connor College of Law in HR and employment law, and part of my job duties here at Adriana's Insurance include being a recruiter. It's the biggest thing, and so we're gonna dive right into it. When you're recruiting, you're selecting your future leaders, the people that are gonna run your company, and it's really hard at times, like Richard said, to distinguish between the person and the resume that's sitting in front of you. But the reason why you wanna hire the person is because you wanna hire loyal people who are also talented and ready to work hard for you and your organization and everything behind you. Sometimes as owners, as people who are in staffing agencies, recruiters, we're guided to follow a lot of industry standards. We want people who have degrees, people who have experience, people who have certain qualifications that at times they're really not attainable. So for this reason, I'm here to teach you how to deviate from those standards, what the industry teaches you, and basically focus on how to hire the person and not the resume. We want competitive winners to join your team instead of, just picking somebody based off their resume. Moving on, we're gonna speak about three super big facts in recruiting. They're not very well known. But one of the first things is there are 90% of applicants who lie on their resume. This is why if you're guiding yourself based off of resume only and the content within the resume, you're not gonna be hiring the person who you think you're gonna be hiring. Out of 9 resumes that hit your table or 9 resumes that you see in your email, they're gonna contain lies. It's not always in a malicious form, but put yourself in the shoes of the candidate. They're always gonna wanna present themselves to the best that they know. They're gonna tell you, oh yes, I was a corporate receptionist instead of, I was just the administrative assistant at the front. They wanna make themselves look good so that you can hire them. That's the ultimate goal. But this puts us, the hiring person, at risk because not at all times we're gonna be looking at their true duties and responsibilities. We're gonna be maybe looking at lengths of employment that were extended just a little bit so that there's no gap. So for this reason, again, we don't wanna just focus on the resume. When you're hiring, like Richard said earlier, you're already investing. The average cost per hire is just over $4,000. $4,000 is a lot of money to invest in just one person. Whether you're a big business or a small business, $4,000 is a big investment. When you start hiring, you start investing. That's why it's very, very important for you to establish a good recruiting process. It is essential to your organization to do this. Again, you start hiring at the time that you decide that you need a hire. Why? Because at this point, you're already creating a job description. Yourself or your recruiter is sitting down, investing time and writing down these job duties. After that, they have to create this post, let you know, put along the onboarding that has to be done. Once you've already onboarded a candidate, then you have to sit them alongside somebody who has the expertise and the knowledge to be able to train them. Throughout all this, you're investing. You don't want to lose a candidate within their 90-day probationary period, but this time is going to allow you to gauge what kind of qualities and what they're able to bring to the table. This brings me back to you having a really good recruiting process, because in the beginning, if you're able to connect with them, if you're able to get to that person and what it is that they truly want to do, you're going to hire the right candidate for your organization. Nowadays, hiring is kind of more like a screening process. When the candidates come to you, they already know the answer to the questions that you're gonna ask them. They already came up with the perfect scenario of what their weaknesses are and what they're gonna tell you they are. For example, oh, I'm a perfectionist. That's my weakness, so I delay everything. If we stick to the routine automated questions, we're gonna get the routine automated answers. That's what we wanna deviate from. Instead of asking a candidate, are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? You ask them, what do you like to do in your free time? If they tell you, oh, I like to go out on the weekends, I like to hang out with my friends, go to the movies, we like to go camping, then you realize that this person is extroverted. If they tell you, I'd rather stay at home, I'm a homebody, I want to watch Netflix, I want to read a book, then this is an introverted person. You've already asked them the question to figure out whether they're introverted or extroverted, but at the same time, you didn't ask them directly, so you don't get the routine question. Everybody wants to hire the perfect candidate, okay? But the reality is that the perfect candidate does not exist. And let's say that the perfect candidate did exist. Then would they really be applying for a job for you? Would they be really wanting to work for you, or would they be working for themselves? That's the question that you want to ask. I refer back to, in a world of green apples, we're looking for the red one, right? We want to pick that perfect one, and we focus so hard on making sure that, yes, this is the right candidate. And it's happened to me many times before in the beginning of my career, when I was like, yes, this is going to be my candidate. This is going to be the one. Comes to the first week and it's a completely opposite person than from the person that I interviewed. We don't want this to happen to you, to anybody else, and this is why we're here. I'm going to refer back to how we can get pretty close to the perfect candidate. Again, I'm going to reiterate, they don't exist, but there are really good candidates out there that we can potentially recruit and bring to our organization. Why? Because if we want to succeed, we're going to just have to get used to this idea. There are one thing as a recruiter or as an owner or a person who's hiring in general that we can look for. We can make a list of the tangibles. These are things that we call, like, we can make sure that the person in front of us has the experience that we want them to have, the education that we want them to have, the time management systems that we want them to have. But we don't want them to have a bad personality or to have a bad attitude, but we got to realize that this is something we can't teach. So if you're looking for an extroverted person or an introverted person, this is something that you got to narrate under not a tangible thing. If you're going to say, I want a recruiter who's an extroverted person, and you have a resume in front of you and they have 10 years of experience, and the interview comes and they look great on paper, but their personality is just dry, it's not something that you're going to be able to change. The personality that a person walks in with is the personality that they've probably had their whole lives. They're giving you the best that they already can because they know they want to get this job. So it's very important for you to keep in mind that that's really who they are. Don't try to think that you're going to be able to change a personality. So if you want a completely extroverted recruiter per se, then hire an extroverted recruiter. Don't hire the introvert that has a really good resume that you think you're going to get to be an extrovert, because right there, you're again investing money and wasting time that you shouldn't be. The 3 most common mistakes that people make when looking at a resume is believing everything that is on there. Again, I've spent so much time already telling you that 90% of applicants lie on their resume. So don't focus on that. The second thing that people focus on is hiring out of necessity. You don't ever want to put yourself in a situation where you're hiring out of necessity, because this puts you at, okay, I need somebody, so I'm going to hire the first resume that I pull that has the basic qualifications. And in the end, you're investing money in the wrong place. You don't want to do this. You want to take your time and wait for the correct candidate that's going to be a good fit to your position that comes along. As a summary of everything that we just went over, know what you need. Know what kind of person you're looking for. Know the job description is exactly what you had in mind. Again, it is very easy to get sidetracked, to add different things, and then the title doesn't mean anything anymore because the job duties and responsibilities that you just created for your potential applicant are completely deviated and completely different. You want to make sure you don't do this to anybody. And if you do change around job duties, if you do change around responsibilities, then make sure you change the title as well. Make sure that you're transparent and make sure that the salary range that you're in is also in your post. This will help you tremendously because, again, it will narrow the candidates that apply for your position. We're gonna move on to the second step, which again is creating your post and your job description. I just brought up a really big topic that a lot of employers or a lot of recruiters don't like to talk about. Oh, it's open, depending on experience is what we like to use, right? Because sometimes it is depending on experience. Sometimes we are willing to pay a little bit more. But if we are willing to pay a little bit more and we're the owners, we already know how much that little bit more is. So we need to be transparent with the candidates, not waste our time interviewing people who aren't gonna take a pay cut or, who aren't gonna be interested in the salary range you're offering, because you wanna be respectful of their times and yours. So again, make sure you really, really sit down, create this job description and post it to the correct site. You're not gonna look for a maintenance person on LinkedIn. Your best bets are to put this on a Facebook group, maybe even Craigslist. If you're looking for a controller, you're looking for a sales agent, you're looking for an administrative assistant, your best bets with these are gonna be LinkedIn, Indeed. They're gonna be your best friends, but always be very cautious and wary of what it means to post where. Like I said, Indeed has become very user-friendly. It's very easy to just upload your resume and click apply. And out of those 100 applies, somebody's gonna call you back. So please make sure, again, that you choose your correct social media platform so that you're able to get your best applicants, not waste your time and not waste theirs. And in recap, the last step is the whole interviewing process. Again, make sure you schedule your interviews when you're gonna be able to give this applicant the time of day, that you're gonna be able to give them your time and really listen, really take notes, really get to know them. They're already investing the time to come and meet you. You're already investing the time in screening them, getting to know them. So the best that you can do is take notes, dive in, and connect with your candidate. I hope that you can implement this and are able to successfully now recruit. Thank you for your time.